Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I wanted to talk about how I was able to get approved for an American Express credit card in only 6 months. And what I mean by that is I don't mean like it took me 6 months to get an American Express, but I've only had credit for 6 months, and I wanted to get an American Express card, and that was the quickest amount of time for me to go from no credit history to getting a secured card to then being approved for American Express. Now, I would assume this will obviously be different for everyone. If you have like bankruptcy in the past or something that gives you really low credit, you probably won't be able to get approved for American Express at all. You probably have to bring your credit score up to very close to 700. I think some people are even like maybe mid to upper 600s, maybe. But I know like anything over 700, as long as you don't have bad history with American Express, they usually approve you. And for me, though, it was just not having credit history. I didn't know that you needed to have credit history if you want to have any type of credit. Maybe if you're young and right out of school, I got those pre-approvals for like, the bad student cards and everything. Maybe I would have got approved without a co-signature back then. I don't know. But I always used cash and thought that, well, that would look good because either I'm not spending much or what I do spend, I can pay for in cash. But that's not how it works, especially if you want to go with American Express. You need to have pretty good history. And that's just the point of this video. For a data point, is I got a Discover secured card, 6 months of using it. I think the first time my credit score popped up, it was, I think it was like 710 or 716 Experian. And then the other two were a little behind, but then after another couple of statements, then they all pretty much were around 720, 710, 720. So that was where I was able to get approved for the American Express. Now, American Express, they offer pre-approvals, so you can just apply online, and that should tell you if you can get a card or not. I don't know if that's always true, though. I tried with Bank of America, and they recommended the cash rewards card, which is the one I wanted. But then when I applied for it, they denied me. It's probably because I got the 3 credit cards within that like 6 months, the Discover one first, and then 2 others. One was the American Express, and then just waited a few more months. So it's probably too much at one time. Maybe if I applied now, I would get it, but I really don't want the card now. But that's just what I did to, like, in my mind, just what I thought would mean that I'd probably get it, is I have an iPhone, and I would get the offers for the Apple card. Well, before I had the Discover, they wouldn't approve me. But it's neat to try for that one, because if they deny you, it's not a hard pull, so it doesn't hurt you. I don't know if there's anything that could be viewed. I don't think. I know it's a soft pull if they do approve you, but if you don't accept it, it's just a soft pull. And then if you accept it, it is a hard pull, which to me is fine because you're getting a new credit card, so there's no problem with that to me. So once I saw that credit score generate from you to actually have credit, I applied for the Apple card because it's just so easy to do and you're out nothing. And it tells you right there that you're approved, what your limit is. And I accepted it. And then I thought, well, I like American Express. Not sure why. I just thought they were like the top tier card. I'm not sure if that is true now. I think they're more opened up to taking in more customers, which isn't a bad idea. But I still think it's a great company. It's my favorite credit card company for sure. But I went with that Apple card, and then I'm like, well, I'll go for the American Express, see if they'll accept me. So for me, I applied for the Blue Cash Preferred credit card. You can go, I wanted cash back. I think with American Express, especially if you want to get in their ecosystem, you're probably best off just getting their points cards. And obviously, if you're doing traveling or a lot of hotels, then their points make the most sense. For me, I don't travel at all, really. Just my travel expenses are just gas. So their card, the cashback cards are great for that, because the Blue Cash Preferred, you get 3% back at gas stations. So for me, I just decided I would go with cash back with American Express. Now, the Blue Cash Preferred is a yearly fee card. This is one of the better ones. It's $95, which isn't cheap, but it's certainly not near as high as their other ones. And the first year is waived, so you can open that account. There isn't anything, and you still get the sign-up bonus. For me, I think it was $3,000 spent in 3 months, so I didn't use my credit cards that much. So I kind of went out of my way to make sure I hit it. Now the offer is $300 back, but it's 3,000 spend in 6 months, which would be much easier for most people to hit. And I wish I would have got that offer, but I still got the 300. And one thing I wondered was, could I just hold that in like your rewards, your membership rewards, and it was cash back, but in that, and then use it each year for the next 3 years to pay for it. But it doesn't work like that. So just if you're new to American Express, once you get that bonus, or it just automatically is subtracted off of your statement. So it's statement credit, which I think is the only way you can redeem cash back with American Express. But it just takes it right off. So you can't pick like, I'll take 95 out for this year. It just, once you hit that bonus, it just takes it off your statement. And then it might be a bit juvenile, but definitely when you get your first few cards, or you're just excited for a card, you're waiting on it like crazy. I think mine came pretty quick, definitely within a week, but I don't remember specifically. It's not the fanciest packaging of all time. It's just a plain envelope that says American Express on it. Not as nice as a Discover that has like a more of a cardboard envelope. Apple, I think theirs was next day FedEx to me, and it was in the card itself was in like I guess like a nice little cardboard holder, but it's kind of more standard, but it's no big deal. I mean, it's more important to have the card than the packaging. And this is the Blue Cash Preferred. I think I have the autofocus locked, so I don't think it's going to show that. I like how American Express, like most cards now, numbers are on the back. They're not pushed through. I covered, I don't know how much that would matter, but your numbers, and then with American Express, obviously, if you're new to it, your security numbers are up here. And one thing I'll mention is I did have like a pretty deep scratch in the card, and I thought about replacing it, but I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. But I had seen some other videos where even like the platinum card was scratched, so it's definitely something that must happen, just how they're printed up or something. Maybe there's just some piece in there that every now and then catches one, or some machine that's bad. But that's a little tidbit you can know. Sometimes the cards definitely do get scratched. And when I was approved for the Blue Cash Preferred card, I guess my first goal was just to get the credit limit higher. It was only $1,000, which at that time I couldn't complain. My security deposit for my secured Discover was $1,000, so at least matched that. It was unsecured, and they matched that. I don't think they were looking at that. That's just what their, I guess, algorithm said that's the best for my spend and small history or something. My Apple card was obviously is unsecured. It was approved for $1,500. I think I applied for both of them the same week, the Apple card and the American Express. So at the time, it wasn't as appealing, but obviously that's the best thing about American Express is how generous they are with their credit limits, and you can definitely get them pretty easy as long as you pay your card off and use it. And at least being my first account, my first card of American Express, that card within the first 60 days after the first 60 days is eligible for a credit limit increase. And there's just tons of forums and pages on the 3 times credit limit increase. So I went for, it was 1,000, so I asked for 3,000 after 60 days. And I actually have the letter because I was denied, and then you get feel like your life's over, basically. And it says it was unapproved or unable to approve, and the reason was your account was opened recently and your tenure is too short. And so I thought, well, if you're rejected for applying too soon, that doesn't reset the thing, you have to wait again. So I just waited a few more days, and I was approved and got the 3,000. And after you get a credit limit increase from American Express, it gets more confusing if you have more cards, but I think if your account gets a credit limit increase regardless of the card, you can't get any credit limit increases again for 6 months. But so that was my next goal, is I would go for 9,000. And I've been using the card a lot. I like the card. It works. It's accepted everywhere that I do business, so there's no problem with that. And the points, well, for the cash back, it's useful. It's definitely going to pay for the fee, and then hopefully I get at least something on top of it. for my first year, and then maybe I'll restructure how I want to use my cards. But I decided that I wanted to also get a business card, and I went with the Blue Cash or the Blue Business Cash. So that's also a cash back card. That one's no annual fee, and it's 2% on everything, up to $50,000. Well, for my business, just I claimed my YouTube earnings. It's nowhere, I'm never going to spend anywhere near that, but it's nice to get, at least now I can do 2% cash back on internet. And if I want to buy like a newer phone or a computer, I can get 2% cash back. So for my business, so that's nice. And that was like the big thing that really won me over to American Express as I applied for that card. I already knew I was going to be accepted because they had been sending me pre-approvals for the gold and platinum card. And this was only about 4 to 5 months after having the Blue Cash. I'm not sure if they viewed it as a lot of spend because I only had that $1,000 credit limit. I hit the $3,000 spend bonus offer within like maybe 2 months, and then got that first credit limit increase. So I'm not sure if that was just somehow like me playing the algorithm just by using it a lot, that I figured that would be approved. And that's one thing, if you're new to American Express, once you get the first card, then from there it's almost always a soft pull. I did see one where someone said it was a hard pull, but it's almost always going to be a soft pull once you're already in with American Express. So my recent card I've only had for a few weeks now is the business card. Yeah, it's pretty much similar, but there's no annual fee, and it comes the same, just typical envelope, which I've come to like them. But when I received that card, I was also, for the business card, eligible to get the card number instantly, which was nice. I'm not sure if the first card, if Amex, they don't do that, or if it was just because of the Blue Cash Preferred, but I didn't get that. So with the business cash, I was able to get the card number instantly, and I was approved for a $10,000 limit, which is more than what I make strictly from the self-employment earnings. So that was like really impressive. And I figured, since in their eyes they viewed me as that limit, even though I was only 5 months in with the Blue Cash, I just decided I would apply for the credit limit increase and was able to get 3 times again on the Blue Cash Preferred. So that one's just slightly under what the business one is, and I'm going to use the Blue Cash more than the business one. But still, it's really good. And for me, again, they said that after you get that first credit limit increase, you have to wait 6 months. Well, for the data point, mine was within 5. So I'm not sure if that's for everyone or how that worked out. Maybe just because I started so low, they just have a certain number that you're allowed to get to sooner. I don't know. Maybe now I might have to wait that full 6 months before I go for another one. But already at those limits, that's more than I spend on a credit card. So I don't mind having it because it's great for low utilization and just having that limit. But really, that's why I really like them, especially compared to my other Discover, which I've only gotten the 1 increase when I graduated from it. So just that alone is why I like American Express the most. At this point, I get emails quite often. I'm not sure if I'll always get them because I was doing a lot of spend on those cards, but I've gotten pre-approvals for the green, the gold, and the platinum. And then now that I have a business account, I'm not sure if I'll start getting them through that as well. But they're the most interactive with me. Apple, well, they only have the 1 card, but they're not much. And then Discover is a really good card, especially if you're going to start out with them. And if you get the 5% categories, they're definitely still, even if you have an American Express for those 5% categories, if you're not going to go with Chase, then I think Discover is still a card you definitely want to have, and it's a no annual fee as well. It's nice to have those pre-approvals. Right now, I really don't need any other cards, but I would definitely consider getting a charge card and switching to points in the future. Right now, I don't see myself needing to hit another bonus, and especially with the gold or platinum, you got to do more spending. So for now, I don't need those cards, but it's nice to know that if I applied for them, I'd probably be approved. But right now, I'm just going to keep using my 2 American Express cards and keep the credit history up and payment history, and hopefully I will never have any problems with them. And I really like banking with them, so they're my credit card provider of choice. So with that said, this video is probably more only interesting to someone that's trying to get with American Express or doesn't have an American Express card and they're thinking about getting one. I'm sure if you're already a customer, you know how good they are to you. And I've never actually had to deal with their customer service, so I can't speak on that. I've never had any problems or needed to contact them. I know Discover's customer service is excellent. I mostly do it within the app, but when I had to call them, I mean, they answered within like 5 seconds, and it was someone in the US, very nice, easy to understand. So the definitely Discover set the bar really high. So I would hope American Express is about around there, but to their credit, I've never even needed to talk with them, so that's good as well. I love their systems, like how the app and everything works, and I'm really happy with it. And I definitely see a good path forward with them. And again, hopefully you can get with them as soon as I can. If you're new to credit, if you have credit and you don't have bad history or bankruptcies, I think they'll probably accept you. If there's any questions or anything I can tell you that I can help with, you can ask them in the comments. But hopefully, at least it lets you know you don't have to be super wealthy or have a long credit history to get with American Express. If you just take out a secured card and pay on time, pay in full within 6 months, hopefully you can get one too. And hopefully it works out and you can have a good experience with them like I did. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.